kicking off. Steve Blakely going to kick off, and Phil Kaplan. The half-backs, Blakely and Lee, a big important role to play.
Yeah, they've played very consistently, and if Blakely ticks, then Salford tick. Mark Lee, a converted hooker, but very, very strong. Again, both have excellent kicking games. That's really what Leeds have got to be wary of today. But both half-backs are adept at kicking the ball short or long.
Right, so Salford get the game started. It's just after 3 o'clock. And it's going to be Anthony Faddle, the ball returner for Leeds, running that ball out up to the 20-metre line. That's a good drive, straight from the kick-off. The charge comes on the PA system. As Gary Mercer takes the ball forward, just back over that 20-metre line. Collins at dummy half, looks to his right, finds Jamie Matthew, steps inside, but good defence coming in there from Craig Randall, number 13. And Jamie Field, first touch of the ball for him, and it's an important game for him. He played well when he came on against Halifax.
Yeah, he'll want to get an early touch, and when Leeds are defending, he'll want to make one of the early tackles as Andy Hay charges towards the halfway line.
So Leeds have driven up to halfway line, they're up to the last tackle now, and it's going to be the full-back Graham Holroyd who just lobs the ball over its row bent slips, but he manages to pick the ball up. You lay the row from the crowd. And Destin Harris quickly in at the tackle with Jamie Field, right on the 20 metres, so Salford looking to make away. And that's good defence from Harris, from Marker, working very hard from Marker there.
Yep, again, Destin Harris's defensive work is sometimes underestimated, but this first set of 3 tackles Salford have made just over 5 yards.
And here comes one man who could make the whole length of the field, Nathan McAvoy.
Yeah, definitely looks the part, even in this early stage. Kind of player that really gets you off your seat.
Switching play there with Mark Lee. And Cliff Eccles is just brought down. He's on the 10-metre mark inside his own half, so he's 50, 60 metres from the Leeds line. Sini for Marlow, former Leeds man, just first touch of the ball for Sini.
And both sides struggling to break the halfway line on their first set of 6, but there is an intelligent kick, this time from Mark Lee, and Graham Holroyd with his first chance to shine with the ball in his hands.
Spins out of the first tackle, which was Cousins, and Lee coming up quickly with Randall, knocking him down. 3 Salford men in at the tackle. Sheridan's in at dummy half then. And Sheridan will give Marvin Golden a run with the football. And very impressed with Marvin Golden's game against Halifax.
Yes, certainly on attack. It was his pace that got Leeds going forward after some sterile attacking bursts previous to that. And there's the first penalty, as Salford are all caught offside.
Yes, Leeds get the first penalty of the game. Andy Platt having something to say, but Robert Conley having none of it. And Harris's kick finds touch just inside the Salford half of the field, so Leeds will be looking to start where they left off against Halifax. They played the last 20 minutes in wildfire fashion and scored some great tries, and I'm sure they'll be hoping to do that again. Now Jamie Field puts the ball down, it goes behind him, but the referee says that's a knock-on. He just didn't time his run correctly there, so Leeds chance spurned, head and ball to Salford at the scrum. We've been playing 2, 3, 4 minutes perhaps now, and Leeds will be defending. Salford will have the scrum 10 metres outside their quarter, 30 metres, 35 metres actually from their own line.
And again, a mistake very early in the tackle count that Leeds could have ill-afforded, puts them back on defence, and Fatasini, who scored some spectacular tries this season, he'll need watching, comes off his wing from the base of the scrum.
Yes, so now his improvement from when he came to Headingley and was absolutely run rings round by Jim Fallon.
That's right, he came here early in his rugby league development. I think Jim Fallon got 4 tries that day, 3 of them inside about the first 20 minutes, and Andy Gregory had to take Fatasini off after that, and he's improved beyond measure from then.
Yes, a much better player now. Mark Lee then just running the ball across field, drops off inside for Andy Platt, and Andy Platt struggling to get the ball away. Gary Broadbent was in support, actually makes it to dummy half. Darren Rogers knocks on, and really I think that the Salford players in a bit of a muddle up there, because
again, the dummy runner I think got the ball with his back to it, and just a mix up there in communication.
Yes, I think that the idea there was that Andy Platt would pass to Gary Broadbent. When he didn't, Broadbent went to acting half back, and Darren Rogers didn't know whether he was the dummy runner or the one who should have caught the ball.
Again, Darren Rogers' deceptive pace, give him half a yard and he'll certainly take it.
Sheridan works the feed, finds Damien Gibson, and Gibson just stepped the first man, but the cover defence coming across, knocking him down. And
one thing Leeds haven't seen so far yet this season is a clean break for Damien Gibson, and he may get that in the centres today. Yes. He's certainly quick enough.
Delasano was star of that show at Salford. Just takes play on Gary Mercer now, just picking the ball up and running himself. Collins to Harris. Harris looking to move that ball. Sheridan now, a long ball there might do some good. And really the cover was not in the right place for Sheridan. Their support was not in the right place. Andy Hay goes himself, brought down.
Again, too many players from Leeds looking at the ball carrier rather than supporting.
Collins finds Damien Gibson. And we're up to the last tackle. Leeds are looking to put the kick up with Yestin Harris. Harris has told Marvin Golden that the kick's coming over in the corner. Cousins is underneath it, takes it well, and then the tackle of Marvin Golden. So good football from both sides, a good kick, a good chase and a good take.
Yep, great football all round there, and well done, Phil Cousins, took the ball well.
And Gary Broadbent runs across the face of his own post before he's tackled by Andy Hay, and it's Andy Platt now coming down. Craig Randall just loses a football. A knock-on, says the referee. Wayne Collins went to dive on the football. I think the Salford man got there first, but it doesn't matter. The referee says that's a knock-on, despite the fact that it goes backwards. I think the ruling nowadays, if you lose control of the football in the tackle, it's a knock-on.
I think as well there's some merit to be said that if you actually lose full control of the ball, then that's got to be deemed as a knock-on. The game is so quick these days that the referees are just taking that option.
Harris with the ball in his hands as the scrum feed comes out there. Brings Allroyd on the burst. Allroyd's looking to go himself. Powers his way through, but he can't evade the tackle of Cousins, and Harris again now brings Mercer in on the burst. Good defence so by Salford, keeping Leeds penned on this 20-metre mark. Again, balls out to Harris. Harris, long ball out there for Sheridan. Sheridan running. Looks to drop off, goes himself there. Can't get through the gap though. That gap quickly closed as Sheridan dumbing to go his way through. And Leeds get the penalty, I think, for holding down.
Again,
it's Randall
again who made the mistake. And is Yestin Harris going to take the shot for goal, or are Leeds going to keep the pressure on?
I think they'll keep the pressure on there. 6 more tackles to go. 10 metres from that line. And Wayne Collins is just going to bring Jamie Field on the drive when he finally gets going. Field up to within 3 metres of the line. Collins again in at dummy half this time. It's for Sheridan. Sheridan finds Harris. This is good football. Allroyd's on the line. Just a long ball out there for Marvin Golden. Golden steps inside. Is he going over the line? He scored a great try there, Marvin Golden, using all his strength despite the attentions of 2 would-be Salford tacklers, Darren Rodgers. And I think Phil Cousins couldn't stop him from going over there. Looked like he was going to be pushed into touch. And Marvin Golden dropped the score in fine style for Leeds.
And that is a magnificent try by Marvin Golden. Full spread between the halfbacks from Harris, and then Holroyd joining the line from fullback, put out an early pass to Marvin Golden but gave him a bit of room, and didn't he just power through the 2 Salford defenders? There were 2 of them there trying to hold him up. One of them was Darren Rodgers, the other one was Phil Cousins, and neither of them could hold him out. And what great strength from Marvin Golden, and confidence as well. Great try.
Great try indeed. And that will be really good, do Marvin Golden's confidence a world of good, because when he took that ball, I've seen times when Marvin Golden and players other than Marvin Golden would have been pushed into touch in that situation, and he wasn't pushed into touch. He managed to get the situation there just right. He used his strength and he forced his way over. That's a great start for the Rhinos.
Great power as well, and Graham Holroyd linking as the extra man from full-back is working quite well. A couple of waves of attack, we've seen him popping up on the end of passes from Yestin Harrison. That could be a productive route. So we'll watch now as Yestin Harris lines up the kick. It's right on the touchline side, only inches in from touch. That's how close Golden was to the touchline, showing great strength. Comes, lines a kick up, just looking at it now, lines it up straight as a die, kicks it. You lay from the cheers of the crowd that's not going in. In fact, it hits the post, but I think it would have been a little below the crossbar anyway. So Leeds 4, Salford 0, but that's a good start for the Rhinos. Just been playing about 8 minutes. You've got to capitalise on errors from the other team, and certainly there were 2 made by Craig Randall there. First he knocked on his own 20, then he gave away the penalty on his own 10, and Leeds capitalised on that, and full credit to Marvin Golden, who did a fine job in crashing over in the corner. Mark Lee just takes the ball, brings a ball returner, which is a Sini Famala out, and knocked down there by Jamie Matthew. Always looks capable of making a break, Sini Famala. Yes. And he won't tire. No, he'll play the full 80 minutes. He'll be running as strong in the 79th as he is in the first. He's a tremendous competitor and had a tremendous stint at Widnes. So Salford coming away again now.
Good defence though from Leeds on Randall again, just outside their own quarter. Salford looking to bring this ball forward with Andy Platt. Andy Platt knocked down, went up to the last tackle, so good set of 5 tackles from the Rhinos.
Good defence. They've got to make sure they cover this kick though, and this will be probably Paul Sterling's first chance to have a run this afternoon, and he'll love these conditions. He'll want to pick that up and get back at the Salford defence. Good chase from Salford.
Yes, there's 5 or 6 men up there, and Sterling tackle inside his own quarter. But a good run, quickly plays the ball. Holroyd finds Golden, and Golden looking to thread his way through a complicated Salford defence, which is wrapped up there. Jamie Field again.
And again, good work from Andy Platt. Made a double tackle there, and he's working hard, and there's a credit to his sport.
Good try from Jamie Matthew. Takes play just outside the 30-metre mark. Harris runs himself. He's looking for runners now. Looks to go himself. Can't get the ball away. Good defence there because Andy Hay was steaming up in support.
Yeah, just a shame that Andy Hay wasn't a yard further up, because there was a big gap there.
What's Edwards, the hooker, just managed to clamp the ball there as Harris looked to get that ball away for Hay. Ball's out to Holroyd. Holroyd crossfield kick, chasing. Mercer's chasing. Gibson's chasing. Farasini takes the ball and comes away. Great play from Farasini, gets Broadbent away. Good defence into attack there from Salford. What a great tackle from Paul Sterling on Gary Broadbent.
And it had to be, really. Great tackle.
Farasini took that ball exceptionally well, spun out of the tackles and put Broadbent away. 5 mile out, just tackled by Andy Hay and Anthony Faddle. Platt now looking for the productive route, running more out wide than he used to do in his days with Wigan. And 17, that's Andy Burgess, and he manages to get the ball away to McAvoy, but McAvoy's brought down inside his own half of the field. It's good defence from the Rhinos. Fattasini
needs to be.
Blakely switching back inside, and Randall's put the ball down again, so he's not had the brightest of openings. And here come Leeds now with Yestin Harris. Steps through a senior Famalo's tackle, but Andy Platt coming across, covered him, tackles him, knocks him down.
And again, the sort of game that Craig Randall will be ruining at the moment. His 3 mistakes he's made, and they could all prove costly.
So Collins again, in at dummy half, finds Mercer, willing as ever just to run forward.
And again, if Leeds go left here, there should be an overlap.
Using the short side, Jamie Field gets the ball back, that's good play. Mercer finds Harris. Harris stepping, going himself, but he takes play back into the heavy traffic area. Gives Sheridan a chance to go now. Sheridan through the gap, going himself, stepping. Great defence on Sheridan, but he had to be because Sheridan was within 10 metres of the line. Now here comes Harris with the ball in his hands. He's got Holroyd with him. He's got Faddle going. Faddle's back ball goes there, back to Holroyd. And Holroyd threading and trying to thread his way through. Gets a long ball out there to Jamie Field. Field finds Sheridan. Sheridan looking to go himself, but Leeds have got to put the foot to ground eventually, and they are. Jamie Field in at dummy half, gets the ball away to Harris. Harris struggling to go himself, but up to the last tackle now with 10 metres from
I would imagine there'll be a chip over here from either Sheridan.
In fact, using the short side Leeds, trying to put Sterling in at the corner. Sterling's chip over actually finishes up in about the 4th row.
Again, I think possibly the wrong option there, but once Jamie Matthew decided to put a pass out to Paul Sterling, I think he gave it to him thinking he was stood over in the south stand somewhere, and Paul Sterling's only option was to kick, and kick too far. Wasted opportunity.
Yes, and Leeds showing that keeping the ball moving as they did against Halifax.
That's right, it's a day for keeping the ball out the tackle.
Cousins tackled there just outside his own quarter from the restart by Anthony Farrell and Phil Hassan. And Andy Burgess. Been around the scene a long time now, Andy Burgess, not ever really claiming a regular place for.
That's right, he again a perfect club man, and he's done a lot of good work for Salford at times when they were in a less glamorous situation than playing at Headingley on a lovely summer's day, and he deserves his reward.
Yes, we heard Andy Gregory talking about the times when they'd been to Batley and Dewsbury and Doncaster, and now they're here in Super League.
That was all work for days like these.
Up to the last tackle, and Salford still pending their own half of the field, and Mark Lee puts the kick downfield, and that'll probably not run dead. That's a well-placed kick. In fact, it's probably just got the legs to run dead. It does by about a foot. Again,
it was a good option, though. It was just the execution that was slightly awry, but Leeds were only ambling back, and his kick split Holroyd and Sterling, and could have been very productive.
So Salford line up on their own in the 10-metre line, and Leeds tap on the 20. And Tony Kemp's on, and that's going to be a message for someone, and I'm sure it's to say, get yourself moving when you run back. It's Graham Holroyd who's being spoken to.
Probably just a reminder that he's got to drop back a bit more on the last tackle, and Collins is away.
And he's got Jamie Field with him, who's pulled back there. And Jamie Field won't have the legs on Fadasini. What a shame that wasn't a backing support there, because that was a great break from Wayne Collins. Sheridan goes himself from dummy half. Drops off ball for Andy A. A back to Allroyd. Allroyd to Harris. Leeds trying to keep the ball alive, and Harris running round in circles now, looks for a way through. Back again to Andy Hay. Andy Hay struggling, goes himself, takes play into the quarter, but that was a tremendous break from Wayne Collins.
Great break.
It wasn't a back. Spadacini was always going to catch Jamie Field. Allroyd again. Short ball is for Anthony Farrell. Farrell powers his way into the 20-metre mark. 10 metres from the line, last tackle. Mercer's in at dummy half. Gets it out to Allroyd on that far corner. Allroyd's ball is for Gibson. That ball's knocked down. Will it be 6 more tackles? It's gone backwards, says the referee, and that's going to be the turnover. So Leeds had obviously knocked the ball back. And a chance spurned there, and we've got an injury down on the far side to Damien Gibson. And Mercer in at the tackle quickly. Fadasini going to run the ball out. Leeds caught offside, so they get the first penalty of the game. Salford.
I think you're absolutely right there when you said Wayne Collins' break deserved a back on the edge of it and not a forward. And Jamie Field did as best he could, but it just makes you wonder that if it had been somebody like Ryan Sheridan there on his shoulder, that it would have been try time.
So we're watching. Salford are looking to Nathan McAvoy changing his shirt, and Fatassini just finds touch on halfway with the kick. Strange that Fatassini should be kicking for touch. And thought that Steve
Blakely or Mark Lee would have got that job.
So Salford,
quite a bright opening quarter of an hour though from both sides, and Leeds with the early advantage at 4-0.
Fatassini Faimalo looking to charge his way forward, and Salford in possession now. 10 metres inside the Leeds half of the field.
It's probably their best attacking position.
Platt going to go through. That's made a good 10 metres there, just 30 metres now from the Leeds line. Mark Lee running the angles. Darren Rogers brings Nathan McAvoy back in, and McAvoy's knocked down, but again they make progress up towards the 20-metre mark. Again, dangerous times for Leeds. There's a forward pass, and Blakely's running away to score a try from a blatant forward pass, but Leeds defence caught napping there. And
quick play the ball, and it was Peter Edwards that put Steve Blakely in. The referee is just he's holding the clock up. I can't believe he's going to the screen. I don't know what he's going to check or say.
I don't know he's going to check for the forward pass from his touchage on this side, but it certainly looked a forward pass from where we were, Phil.
It did actually, and all the Leeds players stopped.
It was so blatantly forward, but it shows you what you must play to the whistle and not to stop when you think. I know sometimes it's difficult when it is a forward pass and the referee's going back behind the line, so he's obviously going to give the try. And despite the fact that it was a forward pass, and we can't really argue with that. Salford are lining up for the kick. The referee points to the... And the crowd obviously not very happy with it.
Well, I'm not sure what the delay was there. I don't know what he was checking. He went to both touch judges and probably looked round for the screen, but again, Salford hit back in pretty unspectacular style as far as the defence was concerned.
Yes, there was a gap. He could have driven a bus through there, and Blakely just managing Bob. Looked to pass a mile forward down there.
Certainly did. Well, that's no excuse for stopping, is it? We should have just carried on with it, really. It went well away, did Blakey, though. He's got a little bit of pace. A nice play, Blakely.
Yes, and going over for the try wide out. He'll be trying to convert his own kick. Kick comes in and it's successful. So Salford actually take the lead.
And a good kick from Blakely, and again just shows you came from a penalty. Leeds offside first time in the game. That gave Salford the attacking position. An innocuous looking attack, and from the acting half-back on or around the 20-metre mark. Peter Edwards, quick ball, and Blakely pace took him away.
So Blakely with the kick-off again. Leeds just waiting. Suddenly found themselves, despite the early pressure, as they did against Halifax, suddenly found themselves trailing.
Andy Gregory on the prowl down there. He'll be pleased to see his charges back on the on the scoreboard.
And Gary Mercer gets the ball eventually. That was a wicked bounce. Mercer electing to let the ball bounce. It was a short kick-off, and
I think Gary Mercer could have been in trouble if Andy Burgess hadn't knocked on. Andy Hay getting upset with a tackle there from Cliff Eccles, I think.
Yes, it was a flop. It was an elbow and then a flop. The referee spotted it and just warned Cliff Eccles. Here come Leeds again now, over halfway with Jamie Matthew. Wayne Collins moves the ball to his right towards the south stand side, and Anthony Farrell just ploughing his way forward. Look, Leeds up to the last tackle though. That seems to have gone fairly quickly. And Holroyd will have to put boot to ball. It's a high kick. Broadbent's underneath it, so a couple of Leeds players. Broadbent's put the ball down. And that's a penalty to Leeds, offside there against Salford. Right in front of the post.
Some would say a professional foul, but not me.
Warrington 12, Halifax 0 is a score coming in from Wilderspool. Seem to be getting some clicking in my headphones for Leo hearing that.
Certainly, last tackle, a good bomb from Graham Holroyd there, and we've been saying Gary Broadbent, the form fullback, put down the bomb, and Leeds get the chance to even things up with the first quarter of the game about to slip by.
So Bob, a good kick from Graham Holroyd there, putting Salford fullback under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, lucky for us that we got a chance of 2 points there to pull us back in it. I still think we're playing well enough to be in front, but you know, we just stop for that forward passing. You're not supposed to do that. That's unprofessional, unfortunately.
Right, so we can have Yestin Harris lining up the kick now.
Again, important that Leeds do get straight back into this game, because that was Salford's first foray into the Leeds red zone, but Yestin Harris's kick levels things up at 6-all, 20 minutes gone, and it's game on again. One set of 6, Leeds go up and level it up, which is important, and let's hope that the game now will... it's been an opening 20 minutes full of some good defence. There's been a little bit of slowness on support in attack, but the stage is set now for a good build-up to half-time.
There's 6 points all as Harris converts. And Salford just running the ball back out now. And Leeds, as you'd expect, up quickly on defence there. 20 minutes gone, and already, to say, Salford Leeds 6.
Looks like Salford are going to make their first substitution with Cervello warming up.
And it's interesting how the prop forwards are spelled at this stage of the game. It's a hot day out there, and such as Andy Platt and Assini Faimalo, Anthony Farrell, Jamie Matthew will be feeling the pace.
They certainly will after they all played in midweek as well, I think.
The kick comes downfield from Blake. That's a good kick. It's down to run dead in goal, and Leeds can take it back up to the 20 metres. So well let go there by Paul Sterling.
Again, you do sometimes get the impression from sitting at the back of the stand here that maybe that the Leeds at fullback and wing pairing, they are a new pairing. Perhaps the communication could be just a little bit tighter out there when it comes to Salford kicking on the last tackle. So if those balls hadn't run dead, then there was very little support there to whoever would have picked up the ball.
Gary Mercer, and he's put the ball down. Play on, says the referee. And Gary Broadbent's into the line, and again this is a good position for Salford now. They're midway between the halfway line and the Leeds 20 metres, and Phil Cousins goes from dummy half. Andy A brings him down with Jamie Matthew, and Jamie Field also in at the tackle. A switching play. Assini Faimalo standing start, not really the best time to give the ball to Assini when he stood still. Edwards again, dummy half, finding Mark Lee, Blakely. Long ball out there for Darren Rogers. Rogers stepping inside. And good defence though from Anthony Farrell, but just caught the lead sliding defence there. Fatassini charging forward up to 6-7 metres from the Leeds line. There's still a few tackles left to go. Andy Platt tries to go over from dummy half. He can't do that. We're up to the last tackle now. So what will Salford do on the option? They're lining men out to the left, and the chip through comes, and it's picked up by Paul Sterling. He's going to be tackled over his own line. If he isn't, it'll be a miracle. He is, but good cover from Sterling, and really under no problems there.
Yeah, he did very well. There were 4 Salford men on him. He read the grubber well from Mark Lee and took it in his in-goal area. Tried to get out, was never going to, but diffused a potentially tricky situation.
Yestin Harris, who would be well advised to be quick with this kick, because Salford are nowhere near ready, and that kick could go many a mile. In fact, it does go many a mile. It's sending Phil Cousins back. In fact, it goes right up into the Salford corner, and Leeds are up quickly to chase. Phil Hassan as Cousins comes flying over. Phil Hassan and Jamie Matthew. That's good defence from Leeds. Good chase from their own line. They've captured Salford 10 metres back inside their own half of the field. Broadbent now.
And a great dropout from Iestyn Harris. As you said, Salford were ambling back, but it was a perfect dropout. Bisected the full-back and the winger.
Fatassini just, in fact it's Lucilio Savinio just taking play down. Salford again, just inside the Leeds half of the field. Edwards to Blakely, to Markley. Markley looking to control things. Short ball there was for Randall. Randall's knocked down, gets up to his feet to play the ball. And Blakely puts the kick in. That's out on the full. That's a poor kick. And I think Ryan Sheridan had something to do with that. He was hanging about there. He didn't make the tackle. He didn't attempt to make the tackle because of the feeling that Leeds could have been penalised for interfering at the play of the ball if he had have done.
Well, I think as well Anthony Farrell was perhaps a little bit fortunate not to be penalised, because he did make the tackle. He was rolling away, but Craig Randall played the ball quite quickly, and it did actually touch Anthony Farrell. But it'd be interesting to see here. Leeds made 2 substitutions. Mercer and Field coming off, Masella and Newton going on.
So that's what they must do tonight, spell the squad this afternoon, should I say. It's a warm day and they've had 3 games this week. Sterling then takes the ball, running around the outside of players, but he's brought down, can't get away. Good defence from Salford. Leeds have lost a good 10 metres in that drive. And Martin Masella comes on now. To be a fist coming there from Peter Edwards.
And it's just a welcome to Super League today.
Holroyd finds Harris. Harris looking to drop off now for Hassan. Hassan inside ball for Marvin. Marvin Golden, that is, and Golden just wrapped up. Leeds back to where they played the ball 3 tackles ago.
Perhaps a bit of an early pass from
Tony Newton got a lovely ball out of the tackle. Jamie Matthew wasn't ready for it, didn't expect it, and has put it down. So just a few words between the two and then a pat on the head. Tony Newton, he wasn't expecting the pass either. It was a difficult one for him to take.
Again, I think when you come on, you're so keen to make an impression. Maybe Terry Newton should have gone to ground with that ball, but Jamie Matthew just let it slip from his grasp. And 1 or 2 mistakes just creeping into the game. Drop balls, kicks out on the full.
And Salford have the scrum and the possession just inside the Leeds half of the field of Sini Marlow. In fact, it's Phil Cousins just getting right. Just saw the number 20 then, looked at he was getting up. And here comes Fadassini. Good defence though from Leeds. And they'll watch Fadassini. That's Wayne Collins doing a lot of tackling. Markley, ball's back there now. It's for Darren Rogers from Salford.
I'd imagine that at the end of this game, Wayne Collins will have racked up 100 tackles in 4 days.
Yes, he's certainly doing a lot of tackling tonight, to this afternoon, Wayne Collins. Terry Newton also in at the tackle area. Salford bring the ball back now, and the bomb comes over. Salford all chasing Rogers, he's underneath it. Holroyd just watches the ball. He doesn't need to do anything because despite the intense pressure, the ball actually bounced in the crowd.
Yeah, again, too many kicks going out on the full at the moment, to disrupting the rhythm slightly.
Yes, and at the moment with 3 balls on the field. And
certainly Salford have had the territorial advantage in the last 8 or 9 minutes, so Leeds need to get back up the other end of the park.
That's right, Leeds have put the ball down. First Gary Mercer, then Jamie Matthew. And Golden just drives forward. Collins is in at dummy half, gives the ball to Masella. Masella, while he's not 100% fit, as he said earlier on in the interview, for those who listen to Radio Rhino, will be pleased with the involvement again. You can just go down to Bob Pickles on the touchline. Bob, is there any reason why the substitutions were made? Was it purely tactical?
Yeah, I just think it's the weather, isn't it? It's one of them days like that. They've done as much as they can, the lads, and they're just shattered at the moment. It's red hot out here.
Anthony Farrell just...
And not only that, but all played in midweek as well, so you've got to feel sorry for these players out here.
Kick comes in over the top there. And again, poor kick, nothing kick. And goes dead in the first attempt.
And again, it's going to be who's fittest at the end of the game, I think.
24, Halifax Blue Sox 0.
Warrington 24-0 up over Halifax.
And again, we're talking about players that played in midweek. Warrington didn't have a game. Halifax, of course, had the emotional draining of losing here, and again, that could be another fixture that determines the outcome of Super League. That's more down to a fixture planner than the strength of the respective teams.
Cliff Eccles brought down there by Martin Masella at the second attempt, and just a rueful look. Andy Platt's the next one to feel the force of the Leeds tacklers, but he's up to halfway line now, and Salford are over halfway with Peter Edwards.
He's had a busy game from acting half-back, caused a few problems.
Blakely, will he kick? Or he's give the ball to Mark Lee to kick, and Mark Lee can put his kick in without too much pressure, despite the fact that he juggled with the football.
Did well, Mark Lee, because he was, I think again, was just going to chase the kick, but was given the ball by Blakely, and under a bit of pressure didn't take the ball cleanly, but still managed to dink a little ball over into the Leeds red zone, and be a scrum on about the 15-metre mark. And Leeds really need to get the ball out to Paul Sterling in a bit of space and test this Salford defence. The game concentrated too much in the middle at the moment.
27 minutes gone then, and Leeds have head and ball at the scrum just inside their own quarter. Sheridan it is who works the feed, and Sheridan it is who comes away with the football. Hassan drives forward, and now it's Harris's turn to look for a way through, and he split the gap there. Harris still going. Justin Harris finds Ryan Sheridan in the middle of the field. Well, a good break there from Harris. Collins gets quickly to dummy half, moves the ball back. Harris takes the ball to his left towards the north stand side, and Andy Hay just feigns a sort of half-hearted attempt at a dummy and then goes himself. Poor pass there from dummy half. He's picked up by Masella, and Masella's stepping out of tackles and still going mad in Masella. He's up to the full-back now. He's through the full-back, is he? He's got a penalty though, right in front of the post for pulling the ball out in a two-man tackle. It's Savelio that's been penalised. Two-man tackle, and Leeds quickly tapping the football, looking to see if Salford has stretched on that far side. And Holroyd looking to dictate things, going through himself, not able to get through. Spurn 2 points there in front of the post. How many times have we seen Leeds do that in recent matches? And Collins just in the football. It's Sheridan. Puts Hassan now, looking to get him through the gap, but there's no gaps in this Salford defence. And Leeds just resort now to the one-out football of Anthony Faddle. This is 5-6 metres from the line. Sheridan finds Harris. Harris looking to put the ball away there. Holroyd goes himself, gets the ball away to Damien Gibson. Gibson's in for the try. So a lovely play from Holroyd. He took the dummy. When he took the tackle, he'd take the two men out, and he managed to get the ball away, which is class play, and that's good football from Leeds, and that's definitely the right option then, and justifies the option.
Again, it needed justifying, because it looked like the Salford defence was going to keep Leeds out. A quick tap taken by Wayne Collins, and a 3 times Justin Harris involved, trying to find the gap. He found it on the third occasion because he found Graham Holroyd again linking from full-back. He stepped into the defence, drew the cover.
So we're watching Justin Harris. He's going to be kicking, despite the fact that it's from Graham Holroyd's side of the field, and almost identical position to where Holroyd kicked the penalty from to win the game. Harris steps up comes a kick. Cheers from the crowd will tell you it's over.
That's what's having versatility in your squad, people that can do a multitude of jobs, and certainly Harris again is playing extremely well.
Hi, this is Damien Gibson. Join the charge with Radio Rhino on 14:04 AM.
Try scorer, Damien Gibson. So 12 points to 6 then, and
33 minutes gone, and I think probably 12-6 is about a fair reflection of the game so far. It looks as though Adrian Morley is going to be coming on in the very near future. He's warming up on the bench. And Salford bring the ball out, this time Gary Broadbent trying to fight his way clear of his own 25-yard line. And Masella's made a big impact since he came on.
Yes, he has. He made the break that set up the position there. And Leeds get the penalty. And well played there by Savelio. He played for the penalty and he got it.
Again, the referee's been relatively consistent. 6 penalties so far in the opening 34 minutes. And
split 50-50, 3-3. Do you have that, Phil?
I've got the same number, but I've got 4-2, but I invariably get them wrong.
No, I invariably get them wrong. That's 4-2 the penalties to Leeds.
Our fantastic stats team will sort us out at half-time and full-time.
Cliff Eccles rocked to the ground there. Good defence from Matthew and Hay. Lee just drops off for Andy Platt, but that's the way to tackle Andy Platt, round the ankles. Down he goes, like a sack of potatoes off a lorry. 5 Marlow.
Or even a beer barrel.
Yes, just straight down, that's the way to tackle him, round the ankles, front on. Blakely looking to, with Lee, to open things up here. And McAvoy finds Rogers. Rogers gets Fadasini away. The space for Fadasini if he's got the strength.
Great tackle from Paul Sterling.
Yes,
Offered him the outside, and there was no question that Sterling was going to make that tackle.
Randall. It's the ball back to McAvoy. This is when Salford at the most dangerous, because Nathan McAvoy can pull a try out of nothing. Up to the last tackle now, so Leeds need to watch Salford on the defence. They've got 2 minutes to tackle out of the play at the moment. Salford will move the ball. Blakely's going himself, puts a little grubber kick down. Allroyd can watch that go dead.
Did very well there. Yes. I don't think there was any question that he'd placed that right to the line.
Yes, and made sure that Nathan McAvoy couldn't...
And the crowd rightly getting annoyed, but this is an edict from the Rugby League that you cannot take a tap until all the Salford side are back. I would penalise them for not getting back quickly, but you can't actually take the tap until the referee says both teams are back and set.
Yes, it's those days have changed. Oh, good running over on the far side there for Leeds. I think Damien Gibson just taking play into the Salford half of the field. Sterling spots the gap, goes himself from dummy half. Well cleaned out though with a big tackle from Savelio. Sheridan now runs at the Salford defence, looks to drop off Andy Hay inside. Hay up to the 10-metre mark, the 30-metre mark, 10 metres outside the thing. Harris puts the kick in. That's still going to be the last tackle, says the referee. Golden has the football. Now Masella. That's 6 more tackles now. Newton's got the ball. Newton powered in through there. Good ball to Hassan. Hassan gets the ball back. And that's a knock-on surely there. The referee did spot that one, and but Leeds keeping the ball. The referee actually there didn't have a very good spot in the game, because first of all he signalled that it was still the 6th tackle, then changed his mind.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of Leeds players there thought it was still the last tackle. As it happens, it's worked out well for Leeds, because as Tilly Newton's ball went back, a Salford hand just came in and couldn't pick it up. So Leeds will have head and ball right in front of the post with about 4 minutes left in this half, and what a time it will be if Leeds could get over the line now. Harris then runs at Blakely. Can't get the ball away and look to try. 4 scrums to 2. Leeds have won the tight contest. And Masella just taking play, but that's sucked men in, and Leeds could whip this ball away quickly now through the hands of Harris. Harris to Sheridan. Sheridan finds Allroyd, and it's great having Allroyd lining up from full back, because he's certainly capable of doing things. He didn't put out a very good pass there. He puts his hands on his head, he knows it. And Sterling did nothing but take the ball and was knocked into touch. So that attack, and apologising there, Graham Holroyd. Again,
though, the just having Holroyd on there as, if you like, a third half-back seems to give Leeds a few more options from the back. And we were saying in 1 or 2 of the games where Yestin Harris has been well bottled up that they need another creative outlet. And today, Graham Holroyd has been that creative outlet.
Well, Leeds find themselves defending. Salford bring the scrum away with Nathan McAvoy. He's well knocked down Tilly Newton quickly out of the scrum there. That's good second row play. Farmarlo takes the play over the 20 metres, centre field. 12 points to 6. Leeds have the leads. About 3 minutes left in this first half. Cliff Eccles is knocked down, and Tilly Newton again in at the tackle.
Again, Terry Newton's made a difference since he came on. He just seems to stiffen things up a bit. Gary Mercer's played a huge amount of rugby, and some very telling rugby in the last month or 2, and he's probably needed a break on the bench.
Sheridan looks to put pressure on Blakely, and still Blakely manages to get a good quality kick in there, which splits the fullback and the winger, but it gives Sterling a bit of room, because the chasers weren't up there. McAvoy comes and tries to click the ankle of Paul Sterling, who rides that one and then slipped as he tried to step.
Yeah, shame, because Salford's chase wasn't as good as it had been in the early stages, and there was half a gap there. Sterling found it but just slipped.
Collins has found a lot of breaks from dummy half fairly easy in this game, and he's lost the ball. Andy Platt pulled it out, and there was only one-on-one tackle, and got to pull it out as he was on the floor, but the referee says that's okay, and Salford will be looking to put points on as we come up to half-time. This is their best chance for some time. They're in the lead 20 metres, 2, probably only 1 tackle gone with the new ruling. McAvoy gets the ball back to Fadasini. Fadasini, can he get the ball away? No, he can't. He's tackled 10 metres from the line underneath the Leeds post. Another forward pass from Blakely there again. The referee's certainly not spotting these forward passes.
Not getting a lot of help from the other officials either.
And Salford on the Leeds line with Andy Platt. Andy Platt tries to bullock his way over.
Great tackle there from Jamie Matthew.
Last tackle coming up now. Crossfield kick. It's from Mark Lee. He shakes his head and hangs his head in shame, as he should, because that finished up well outside the field of play. Andy Gregory's got plenty to say to that as well.
Now, I'm not surprised he's got his arms up, saying, what are you trying that for?
Leeds haven't got a ball to play with at the moment. Holroyd finally brings one.
Again, we're just on the stroke of half-time. Unless anything dramatic or stupid happens at one end or the other, it's going to be 12-6 to Leeds, and on the basis of the play, that's probably about right.
Damien Gibson just looking to break his way through. That's the break that you said, Phil. He's certainly going. Has he got the legs? That's going to be a try, as you say, and that's exactly what you said earlier on in the game. But if Damien Gibson could make a clean break, he would score the try. Well, he has made a clean break and he has scored the try.
And we said as well that unless something amazing happened before half-time, that would be the score, and something amazing did happen. We said that maybe Damien Gibson in the centre could cause problems. He slipped out of 2 tackles, and even though it was well inside his own half, you just had the feeling that if there was Damien Gibson and daylight, there was only going to be one outcome. That was a superb try, and it really was a magnificent break from Damien Gibson. That is, what, 60, 70 metres he's covered, and what a fantastic try on the stroke of half-time for Damien Gibson.
Yes, and he forced his way over. He bust out for 3 tacklers there and had the legs to go. And we said earlier on, while you did, Phil, that you thought he might get a run today, and he's shown what he can do. He doesn't get too many of those from full-back, but of course, in the centre, getting the ball in a different position.
Again, it's just his pace. We've seen it in flashes, but we've never seen him get a chance for a long extended run, and that was, what, 50, 60 metres, and it was, in the terms of the great commentators, shut the gate.
Harris converts, and Leeds have an 18 points to 6 lead, and I'm sure they're delighted with that. There goes a half-time hooter then, and that's good play from Leeds in his first half. He opened the scoring with Marvin Golden, forced his way over despite 2 tacklers to make it 4-0, 2 wide for the Harris conversion, and then Blakely had a try for a blatant forward pass for Salford. He converted his own try from the touchline side, 17 minutes, 4-6. Leeds a penalty 3 minutes later when the ball was stolen in a tackle from Yestin Harris, 6-all. Leeds then spurned a penalty on 31, again when the ball was stolen. Damien Gibson scored out wide out, Harris converted, it was 12-6, and then we've just seen on the stroke of half-time a tremendous run there from Damien Gibson from halfway line, busting out of tackles, and 40 minutes, Harris converting. Leeds 18 then, Salford 6. Right.
I would think it's certainly more than was here on Wednesday night, which was, what, about 7,500. I would think we'd be looking nearer probably 8.5, 9 today.
And Faimalo, who we've seen very little of, just drives the ball forward.
Be nice to think that Leeds could get 10,000 on a day like this, but again, 3 home games in a week, it's asking a lot from the fans.
It is good defence there on Cliff Eccles from Adrian Morley.
Just a half-time change there. It is Adrian Morley for Anthony Farrell.
And he's actually purely tactical, Bob?
Yeah, just tactical at the moment.
Right, so Anthony Farrell's come off and spelling the squad, and that's the right thing to do.
Yep, and again, Adrian Morley will be itching to get on against his hometown club.
Andy Platt then just takes play into the Leeds half of the field. Paul Sterling allows Mark Lee's kick to go into touch just 10-12 metres from his own line. Leeds will have head and ball at the scrum, and we'll be looking for an attacking option to see if they can break this stubborn Salford defence, which, apart from the couple of lapses in midfield, which has led to breaks from Collins and Masella, and Gibson has been pretty strong.
Yep, both teams actually, his defence has been very good, considering, again, we keep saying it, the heavy schedule, it really does take it out of you.
Teddy Newton comes away from the base of the scrum.
And to be honest, that scrum there illustrated the value of the loose forward coming off the scrum. It was almost instantaneous. Sheridan put the ball in and Newton broke off the back. It was a well-worked move, that one.
Good driving down the field there from Martin Masella. That's some half-time scores for you. Halifax Blue Sox have now pulled back to 24-12 at Warrington, and Sheffield Eagles leads Oldham 8-4. Matthew then drives forward into the Salford half of the field. Good defence on Andy Hayes. He takes the pass. And it's the last tackle now, and Allroyd's going to put the kick over as he puts a little grubber kick through. Philosan's chasing. Broadbent's sitting up waiting for the bounce, but Philosan gets some good kick and chase there.
Very good kick and chase. Again, Phil Hassan had his best game of the season, I think, at Salford, and I think he's up to it again today. Looks like he's enjoying himself out there.
Fattasini then in the middle of the field. He's looking for a way through to try and use his pace and his strength. Morley it is who brings him down. McAvoy now. Oh, that's good defence there from Martin Masella. Just bringing him down. Jamie Matthew on the top to make sure. And Wayne Collins then does the next man as Salford trying to plug their way right up the middle of the field. They're not moving the ball any wider than a couple of metres from the ruck, and they're paying the penalty. You've had 5 tackles. Now it comes out wide and it's out to McAvoy. McAvoy stepped to Teddy Newton's tackle now. There could be problems here for Leeds. Randall. And he's lost the football. And Sterling picks it up for Leeds and comes away, but that's the value of having someone like Nathan McAvoy in your side. Sterling still going down the middle of the field. Good defence eventually. But that's good play from Leeds. Breaking quickly there, turning the defence into attack. But McAvoy did everything right there, drew the man, and it was that man Randall again who put the ball down.
That's right, it's having a nightmare.
Sheridan through the gap. He's not through the gap because the gap's closed. He plays the football. And Leeds pick up with Andy here. Leeds are no one in at dummy half there. Wayne Collins just directing operations from a couple of metres away. But Leeds certainly looked as though they were going to concede and then turn defence into attack quickly with Paul Sterling. That's Newton's ball there, and Harris is going himself. Gets the ball back inside, picked up there by Morley. Morley to Holroyd. Holroyd's running away from Broadbent. Holroyd's going to score a try. So Salford must be absolutely devastated there with that situation. It looked like they were going to score themselves. Craig Randall put the ball down. Nathan McAvoy walked slowly back. He did everything right, but then Graham Holroyd took the pass there and was superb play from Morley and from Harris.
Yeah, great move from Leeds. We said that we thought perhaps that in this weather and with defences tiring, it might be a question of some points in the second half. Salford looked like they should have scored on the power play. Great cover from Marvin Golden to put off the number 13, Craig Randall, but Leeds brought the ball back. Magnificent move. Terry Newton keeping the ball alive out the tackle. Yestin Harris the link in the gap. Inside to Adrian Morley. He found Graham Holroyd linking from the back again, and Holroyd scored at the side of the post. Great try, and Leeds now should be in command in this game.
That's right, and it was Holroyd's tackle just a few minutes ago on Randall that caused him to spill the ball. As he looked to get the pass away, went miles forward, and Leeds turning defence into attack very, very quickly. That's good play there from Leeds, moving the ball right down the field. Some good play in that from Terry Newton, who passed the ball off the floor. And Yestin Harris about to line up the kick. He's got it just to the right of the post. It shouldn't be too difficult. He's missed it from right at the side of the post. Well, that's a poor kick.
Hi, this is Graham Holroyd. You're listening to Radio Rhino on 14:04 AM.
So 22 points to 16. 3 goals to Harris in 5 attempts.
And let's hope that conversion attempt isn't costly, and Salford bringing Ian Watson on for Peter Edwards.
And Watson will go into the hooking role. So he's one of the modern type of hookers who is really a scrum half.
But a great try from Leeds, and as you say, perfect example of defence into attack.
And Leeds almost getting the ball from the kick-off, but Salford knocked that ball back. It's Ian Watson already in the action that dives on the loose ball. Finalio comes up to the 20 metres before he's brought down, but that's good defence from Leeds. 2 tackles gone, Salford still penned on their quarter. Eccles. Again, Newton's in at the tackle.
And Leeds just need to remain concentrated in defence. They've shown what they can do in attack.
Savalio. Go on, what a daft thing to do on a Sunday afternoon, to step into Adrian Morley's tackle.
On any afternoon.
Randall again, who's trying to make up for his earlier errors. He's not succeeded.
I think he's well in the debit column.
Ronnie the Rhino just walking around the pitch, surrounded by youngsters. He's throwing things into the pitch, into the crowd. Holroyd stepping, comes out of his own quarter, gets a lovely ball away to Sterling. That's put Leeds on the attack. That's great play from Holroyd and Sterling. Sterling taking men on, stepping, still going. Comes right up to almost up to halfway. Good play there from the 2 backs. Marvin Golden's turn now, coming over looking for work on this side of the field. Harris now in the middle of the field with a bit of space to run. Stick it, Andy A away. Andy A's got a man outside him, uses his fend off and his arm.
Probably did the right thing, because there was more Salford cover there than Leeds support.
Harris again, looking to go himself, tried to have the ball stretched from him, but he couldn't do that. It was Cliff Eccles in at the tackle. Now it's Matthew's turn just to step his way through this and gets the ball back again to Harris. Harris in support, Sheridan forced to take the tackle of McAvoy into the quarter. 4 tackles gone. Leeds have played the football quickly. Masella's going forward. Harris again, Thilasan, Hassan, ball back to Masella, and this is the type of football the fans like to see. Back to Marvin Golden, but well watched there by number 7 Mark Lee. He wrapped Golden up as soon as he got the football.
Last tackle, what are Leeds going to do?
The long ball comes out to Holroyd. He's had the aces on the last tackle so far. He puts that ball down, Fatasini gets it. and he's also tackled and roughed back over his own line.
Great defence.
Yeah.
Damien Gibson and Paul Sterling, and Terry Newton there as well. Magnificent defence.
Yes, good kick from Holroyd. Just put the pressure on Fatasini. The ball sat up lovely for him to take, but of course as soon as he took the football, he took the tackles.
And a great start by Leeds to this second half. This is as committed as we've seen them for a while. Some good football.
And, Salford at the moment looking to drop out. Wayne Collins is just making sure. He's a great talker on the field, is Collins. Ball goes spinning back. It's a great drop out again from under the post. There must be a slight breeze blowing up the middle of the field, because we saw Leeds drop out go right that far back. And Marvin Golden has to retrieve it from his own 20-metre line. But
again, he's looked very, very strong today, and he's caused all sorts of problems for Darren Rodgers in particular.
He's brought that up to the halfway line. Andy Hay just ploughs forward. That's made a good 20 metres there, Andy Hay. Good running from Hay. And now it's Sheridan with the ball in his hands. Drops to Matthew. Matthew's coming more into this game in a running mould. Wayne Collins, that acting halfback. Finds Marcella.
He's played very, very well since he came on as well.
Collins finds Harris. Harris showing the ball, looks to go one way. Faines goes the other. Inside ball for Holroyd. Stepping, going himself, Holroyd. It's a long ball out there to Damien Gibson. Gibson back inside Terry Newton. That's the football back. And Leeds playing away there. In fact, that should have been a knock on, but the referee's not spotted it, or he's let it go. But it certainly came back off of a Salford player's head. Last tackle. And Holroyd has the ball in his hands. Crossfield kick is there for Marvin Golden. And Golden's got the football. Is it going to be 6 more tackles? He's put the ball on the floor. And Gary Broadbent comes away with it for Salford. Probably the right thing to do there from Golden.
Yeah, I think the referee wouldn't have given that all on, even though Darren Rodgers went up for it. But again, a good spell of pressure
from Leeds, and a good kick at the end of it to complete what was a good move. Tony Kemp just coming and having a word with Graham Holroyd. Leeds have conceded a penalty. And Fatasini is, I think, who's coming off, limping. And 2 substitutes for Salford. And Bob, a bright opening to the second half for Leeds.
A terrific opening, isn't it? The best thing about it was that the try that we scored and the one that we forced into dead ball became 100 metres with the sets of sixes, with the type of football that we've been longing to see.
Yes, that's the best Leeds have played for some time with the ball in their hands.
Yeah, that's for sure. And particularly when you say like they come full 100 metres, the speed merchants showing what they've got.
Good defence there on number 19, who's come on for Salford, which is Paul Southern. Ian Watson just trying to go through. Markley finds Blakely. Salford not done yet, and while ever Blakely's on the field, they won't be, because
no, good jink there from him.
Great pace, and shows you just what you can do if you concede penalties. Salford right up in the Leeds 10-metre area now. That's going to be a try to Salford, I think. The touch judge is there, but I think he's going to give the try. The ball was got out of the tackle by Savelio, and despite what the Leeds fans think, it looked a perfectly good try to me, Phil.
Yeah, again, touch judge right on the spot, and he had no doubt at all that, I think as well, that he was absolutely right, that Martin just got the ball down before he was bundled into touch in the corner by Paul Sterling.
That's right.
And again, that's just what you were saying, you can't take your foot off the gas in this game. And a good break by both Watson and Blakely. Their pace caused problems for Leeds. Savelio's strength out wide, managed to get the ball away, and Martin just on, supporting.
But again, there it was a situation where Leeds had conceded a penalty which brought the try.
That's right, you can't make mistakes. Takes all the pressure off.
So Leeds will be disappointed with that. At 22-6 to an home and dry, at 22-10, 22-12 possibly. You can't afford then to make another mistake. And Salford warming up Andy Burgess, or either that or he's just coming off the field. And Leeds have been warming up Gary Mercer and Leroy Rivet again, and looking to again spell the changes, and let's hope that neither side pick up any injuries this afternoon.
No, can ill afford it.
So Blakely from the touchline side, difficult kick, but we've already seen him kick one from the other side. One of the best kickers in Super League. And done really well since he went to Salford. Lines a kick up now. And that's successful. Well,
and that again makes the miss by Iestyn Harris look as though it might be a little bit more costly. That's a great conversion.
Yes, 22 points to 12 then. Leeds have it. There's 54 minutes gone in this game, so plenty of time for both sides to take control of it. Salford, of course, looking to get back into the game. They're not likely to take control for some time, but Leeds, they're will be looking to hit back straight away and just hope that that try doesn't. Oh, Morley's lost the football, and this is the danger straight away. Rodgers is coming back up, and Leeds are again under the pressure and on their own line, and that's the danger of conceding a try from a penalty. They've had to take the ball, and again they're under pressure. Another try now would certainly throw the game wide open for Marlow. And Leeds need men on the far side. If Salford moved the ball, they've moved it the wrong way. In fact, they've moved it straight down the middle of the field. Salford moving the ball to the left with Blakely, stepping, going himself. Good defence from Morley. He wants to make up for his mistake. It's up to the last tackle now. And that ball's gone dead. And the referee says there's no penalty there. It looked like the Salford player certainly ran into the man.
Yeah, I think that's right. Good defence from Leeds.
And it needed to be, because that drop ball from Adrian Morley put Leeds under all sorts of pressure.
And a bit of a let-off there for Leeds.
That's the Wimbledon final. Pete Sampras has defeated Cedric Pearline 3-0. Collins goes himself from dummy half. Takes the easy yards up the middle of the field. And really we could do with another try from Leeds just to spell the worries. Jamie Matthew. And at the moment Leeds settling for the one-out stuff. I've seen some fancy football from Leeds today. Some flowing football. Now Harris will move the ball out to Holroyd, and one thing when the ball's in Holroyd's hands, he's not going to run with it himself. He's going to pass and he's going to get people away, and he's put Hassan away, who's got the ball to Golden, and Golden's into the Salford half of the field, well into the Salford half of the field. Holroyd again with the football in his hands. A long ball, finds Harris. Harris stepping, going himself. Fetches Gibson eventually onto the angle. Gibson running down the side, kicks over. But that's food and drink for Gary Broadbent, and Leeds not expecting that, so the chase not there.
Again, Damien Gibson, wrong option. Either should have stayed in field and looked for trying to find Paul Sterling, or just taken the tackle, but ran himself into touch.
And Salford have the ball with Nathan McAvoy. Just 30 metres from their own line. Southern.
I wouldn't have thought he would have needed to wear a T-shirt in this weather.
That's right, he's got a T-shirt on under his shirt, and the reason we know that is because his shirt's just been pulled over his head. So Velio has lost the football, and Leeds have it there. And play on, says the touch judge, and he tried to throw the ball back. But Collins was quickly in there. Andy Hay looks to go himself. And, just happy enough to take the tackle. Philosan then spots a gap from dummy half. Powering forward, Philosan out of one tackle, out of another, up to the 20 metres. That's good play for Philosan. 20 metres in from touch on the south side of the field. Golden acting half, finds Sheridan to Harris. Harris looking for the run around. Stoms, he goes himself. And again, ball clamped there. Good defence from Ian Watson. He's learnt the game very quickly, Ian Watson. Sheridan. Back to Newton. Newton also looking to see if he could offload the football. Collins for Harris. Inside balls from Masella, and Masella powering towards that line, just 6-7 metres short now. Referee says that's the last tackle. He stood over the play of the ball. Harris with the ball in his hands, puts a long ball out there to Holroyd. Holroyd's kick stab through, it's picked up though by Broadbent. Positioned himself well there, the fullback.
Did very well, dived across and took the ball very, very well indeed. Got injured in the process, but very brave.
So Leeds will be waiting for Gary Broadbent to receive attention. It depends how seriously injured he is as to whether the ball will be moved.
Should imagine he'll have taken a knock in a leg or a rib, but that could have very, very easily been a try. Travelled a long distance to get that, and was very brave going down at the feet of the Leeds chasers.
That's a good kick from Holroyd. In fact, he's not too badly injured in the... And Halifax further back at Warrington. It's 24-16 now. Tini Famalo driving forward up to the 20 metre line, centre field. Been playing approximately 20 minutes, about 18 minutes. It's still 22-12 in favour of the Rhinos. The Rhinos versus the Reds.
And this game is still up for grabs. It's certainly by no means settled, and there's going to be some good entertaining rugby played in this last 20 minutes, I think.
Yes, it's a case of which side probably tire most. That's the football. Leeds have it.
I think certainly Leeds could feel aggrieved that they didn't come up with the ball there, but a big tackle by Marcella on Watson.
Yes, and Watson complaining as he's done all afternoon. The touch judge just telling the referee what went on there. It's Leeds head and ball as we expected. Watson did lose the ball in the tackle. In fact, it looked like a one-man steal actually.
Yeah, that's why they played on.
But Leeds will have the ball in the scrum. They're sixth. Gibson's in the line. That's Harris running round, making up the extra man. That's good play, Harris. Goes himself, still cutting back in field now as he's run right out to the touchline side.
Did very, very well there.
Takes playing to the 20 metres. The applause of the crowd will tell you how well he played. Golden goes himself from dummy half. He really is strong, Marvin Golden. He is. Confidence oozing back.
And it's good to see.
Collins finds Holroyd. Holroyd's ball is for Sheridan. Sheridan. Short ball.
And that pass was never on.
No, it never got anywhere near Adrian Morley.
And once Morley had overrun it, then Sheridan should have just held on to the ball.
Leeds again. Andy Hayne, the tackle on Darren Rogers. Cliff Eccles.
And again, Leeds have got to make quality possession in the Salford half count. That's twice Salford have made mistakes, but Leeds not been able to capitalise.
Watching Salford just bring the ball upfield now with 13. Is that Craig Randall?
Can't because he held on to the ball.
Well, it was Craig Randall. And inside ball for McAvoy, and again almost through there, and good defence from Matthew. He held on.
Needed it.
To the shirt. Watson puts the kick in.
Poor
Hard
kick.
on the full.
Very poor kick.
And Mark Lee just shakes his head and holds his hands out in despair there. And but that attack petered out because Jamie Matthew managed to hang on to the shirt.
In the normal place after the game.
Gary Mercer back for Marcella on the hour mark. So again, Dean Bell spelling the forwards.
Would you believe it? Leeds have knocked on there at dummy half. And Salford have the ball, and Adrian Morley's doing some tackling on his big friend Nathan McAvoy. From Arlo. 10 metres inside the Leeds half of the field. Watson at dummy half finds Cliff Eccles. The game just entered a bit of a flat period as far as Leeds are concerned. We could do the try to liven it up. Mark Lee back this way, switching play towards the north stand side. Cervello.
Cervello putting himself in the shop window today. He's on the transfer list, played quite well.
Yeah, he's certainly responsible for one try. Blakely going to put Randall through the gap. Randall gets the ball back to Watson. To Lee, Lee stepping, going himself. McAvoy nowhere to go, so he goes forward. And two men bring him down eventually. It's Teddy Newton and Jamie Matthew. Watson goes from dummy half. And again, Mercer brings him down up to the last tackle now. So what will Salford do here? They've got men stacked. Nobody really out wide. Lee puts a kick, crossfield kick in. And Holroyd, brave as ever, goes down the ball.
Did well.
Wicked deflection there. As Lee put the kick in, which reminiscent of the ones that Derek Fox used to do. Kicking, looking one way, kicking the other. Damien Gibson almost through. He'd be looking for the hat trick with Gibson. A penalty.
Certainly got a penalty. Did well there, Damien Gibson took the pressure off.
And that stopped Leeds, so the penalty goes the way of the Rhinos. Mercer. Collins to Matthew. Morley now just charging down the middle of the field. He'll be dead keen to have a big game this afternoon. Looked a bit of flop in there. The referee's let it go.
At least he's taken 3 defenders out if Leeds can move it.
Sheridan's put Andy away on the gap, Andy away. And Golden's going into the try under the post. That's his second of the afternoon. Good break from Andy A, good ball from Ryan Sheridan. And I thought Andy A had had the strength to step Gary Broadbent. He didn't, but fortunately Leeds had Marvin Golden in support.
A great try from Leeds, and we were saying there again that it was the presence of Adrian Morley. It took 3 tacklers to haul him down. That meant Salford must have had a gap somewhere. It was Sheridan that exploited it across the line, turned the ball inside. Andy Hay made the bust. The fullback came across and held him up, but Marvin Golden off his wing in support, and that is a great try. And Marvin Golden had a great game today, and he's back in form and back in contention.
Well, we can go down onto the Leeds bench and talk to Bob Pickles. Bob, you spotted Marvin Golden as a schoolboy, certainly holding out all the justification in the faith that you placed in him this afternoon.
He certainly is now. He's come back with a real bang, hasn't he? So a bit of an injury to get over at one stage, bit of a lapse in form, but now he's back on. But I've got to say today that I think probably who might sneak the man of the match might be Andy A today. I think he's had a terrific game, probably his best game since he's come to Leeds, without a doubt.
Very much so. He's run very, very well and very, very strong all afternoon. He's topped the tackle. He's up there with the top of the tacklers, Bob, and I thought that was a class break from a second row forward.
Without a doubt, and I'm sure at the end of the day he'll have made more meters than anybody else from the game today. Without a doubt, he's looking like he might be a decent buy now, as a lad.
It's a good play, and that's certainly should have given Leeds a game, Phil.
Yep, I wouldn't say that with probably 17, 18 minutes to go. This again is being played at the kind of pace and the kind of conditions that one try can quickly be turned into two, but certainly you would think with a 16-point gap, Leeds should hold the upper hand. They're warming up Jamie Field and Leroy Rivet as well.
Morley, as ever, in at the tackle with Wayne Collins, who's had another big game this afternoon. Vallejo. He's certainly taking some pull down, gets McAvoy away. Good play, but great defence from Collins, read the situation well. Watson, Randall, Lee. It's a good ball out in Salford now, coming upfield. Well, there's something on here. Passed the ball far too early. Salford Blakely, has he got the legs? Brought down there by Philisan. Back to... Oh, the referee's allowed play to go on there. And Leeds defence stopped, and we've just seen a try at one end and a try straight back from the kick-off. Poor defence from Leeds, who waited again for the referee's whistle there to say that Blakely had been stopped.
Yeah, you can't do that. You'd have thought Leeds would have learnt from early on in the piece, but...
No one else there came to make the tackle. So Blakely converts, and it's 28 points to 18.
And again, it's all on.
So 28 points to Leeds, 18 points to Salford, 66-67 minutes gone. We've seen Leeds come back in this situation and win games. But really, this time Leeds need to get to grips. Jamie Field coming on for Wayne Collins. And I think, Bob Pickles, that the substitution of Jamie Field for Wayne Collins purely tactical.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It looks as though he might be tiring a bit now, did Wayne Collins. He's done plenty of hard work today. We need a bit of a fresh leg on. We certainly need a few fresh legs because nobody got back there to cover tackle.
That's right.
And once again, unfortunately, just a lack of professionalism. We should play to the whistle all the time. We just let the man get up off the floor and pass the ball out.
And Leeds have knocked on. So Leeds have knocked on at dummy half, and they're going to have to do now. This will be a scrum. And Salford have got the ball, and they're coming away from the scrum with Randall. So dangerous times again for Leeds, Phil.
Yeah, they need to really keep everything going here.
Because another try would certainly give Salford the belief that they could win this game.
Again, good tackle from Adrian Morley, and that needed to be made, but Leeds are short of bodies out wide.
Salford looking to move the ball across to the hands of Andy Burgess. Stepping up there is number 19, Paul Southern, but he's pulled down. McAvoy now. So strong near the line. Rock back the
Jamie Field did well.
Cleaning in at the tackle. Ball Blakely to Lee. Lee's long pass out, comes out there to Darren Rodgers. Stepping inside, Darren Rodgers can't go though. That's good defence from Leeds.
Great tackling from Jamie Field just back on. I saw it's Damien Gibson and Paul Sterling.
And Gibson used the short side there to good effect. Never a chance of him going into touch as Leeds bringing the ball away from their own line. Just 10-15 metres in from touch now with Sterling's drive. That's a ball from Mercer to Sheridan. Harris has put the hammer down. He's away, Harris. It's the ball back to Philisan. Philisan there to Ryan Sheridan. Sheridan coming in field, but he's not down there. The referee said the tackle's okay. Leeds supporters and players complaining. Marvin Golden going down himself now. Takes play to 10 metres from the line. And threw the ball out. Tony Newton didn't know where it was going. There was no need to make that pass. It was only the third tackle.
No, it was panic, really.
And no need to panic because Leeds had done everything right there. I thought Ryan Sheridan would have had the pace to take him away. Oh, a good pass from Andy Burgess out of the tackle for Darren Rodgers. And Matthews struggling with Rodgers, and eventually he's pulled down by Newton. And Leeds just struggling a bit in the middle of the field since Wayne Collins went off. Sterling comes off and Rivet comes on. For Leeds, and Nathan McAvoy again, and Leeds are letting Salford run with the football now. And we've seen these aberrations from Leeds in recent weeks where they do everything right for a while and then suddenly it all looks to go wrong. But that time Morley's tackle on Blakely was good, and it needed to be good. And Salford move the ball out to their right towards the south stand side. The kick over comes. And 6 more tackles, he's going to say, the referee here, and Salford are going to be in at the corner now. Oh, good defence. And that's 6 more tackles, says the referee. So Leeds going to be struggling here on their own line as Broadbent trying to make something out of that one. Tackles in 10 metres from the line. There's a chip over that did a Leeds player. Leeds certainly made a play for it. Lee drops off that ball there for Southern. Southern looks to get the ball away, and he does to Watson. Watson's inside ball is for Lee. There's a gap there, and Lee, is he over on his back? He's certainly held up there. Is that going to be a try, or is that going to be a tackle? It's deemed to have tackled. And Leeds are going to have to come to defend again, because they'll have head and ball at the scrum. Salford got some good defence from Leeds there.
Yeah, some great pressure from Salford though, and again used a chip over to good effect, got the ball back. Just Marvin Golden making a try-saving tackle on his opposite number, Phil Cousins, and then Salford switching the ball back, and Lee just forced on his back as he in the act of scoring.
Yes, and Jamie Matthew, I think it is, who's the Leeds player down injured. And that all come from a mistake down in the Salford half of the field. Marvin Golden, no need to pass to the Newton, hadn't a prayer of catching the ball. And just Leeds will really need to defend now. Salford another set of 6 right on the Leeds line. And the Leeds defence needing to hold out. There's another try, certainly would put the Cadam on the pigeons.
It really would.
And Leeds have been well in charge of this game, but they wouldn't be if that wouldn't happen. Burgess switches play back to McAvoy. He's so strong.
He's been the main threat, and again it's Matthew on McAvoy.
Salford move this ball out to the right-hand side, then Leeds are in desperate straits. They may even be anyway. Savelio's lost the football. In fact, the referee's giving a penalty, saying that Leeds were all offside, so he's really giving Salford a chance to get somewhere here. If they move the ball out, they must score. Leeds have only 2 men over on the far side. Broadbent steps inside. That was the right way to go, but unfortunately for him, a good tackle comes in, I think, from yesterday. Harris. Blakely. And Salford a lot of pressure on the Leeds line, and really, well, you'd feel that the Leeds line would have to crack shortly. Salford move the ball back towards the north stand side here, running across. Mark Lee looking for a runner to go inside, just putting the football out to Darren Rogers. He's
lost ground there. It's good defence from Leeds.
McAvoy will take the ball and the law into his own hands and go himself, but that was poor option from Nathan McAvoy. Nowhere to go, looking for the penalty there. Leroy Rivet's well in at the tackle. Southern tackled right under the Leeds post, 10 metres in. It's the last tackle, so what will Salford do now? They move the ball out with Lee. Blakely. Oh, good defence. He's put the ball back. The referee's going to let play go on again. This time he can't let play go on. Leeds will pick it up with Graham Allroyd. In fact, Adrian Morley. And great defence from Leeds. Saved almost 24 tackles, I think, on their own line.
Absolutely superb scrambling defence from Leeds. And Dean Bell would have to be pleased with that defence.
24-22 scoreline now coming in from Wilderspool, where Halifax have fought back from 24 points to 0.
And certainly that kind of defence deserves to win matches.
Just go down on the bench again to Bob Pickles. Bob, that was absolutely tremendous defence from Leeds.
Yeah, they all worked hard there, didn't they, the lads? Certainly well for 24 successive tackles and keeping them out. Well done to the boys. Now we're to get down this end of the field, make them do some tackling.
Tony Newton again, he's looked a great player this afternoon. Harris gets the ball away to Gibson. Gibson's got Rogers to beat on the touchline side. Wisely takes the tackle as Rogers was looking to pump him over the side. Rivet to Sheridan. There's a fight in the middle of the field, but Allroyd's got the football. He's running away. It won't bother him. He's pulled down there after he's kicked the football. Phyllis Hans chasing it with Gary Broadbent. That's going to be a try to Leeds. That's going to be a try to Leeds. The referee has seen the punch up. He's going to give the try. In fact, he's stopped the clock now, but really it's going to be a try to Leeds.
Well, I don't know who's at fault in the middle of the field. Let's hope it isn't a Leeds play, but that was magnificent play, and that deserved a try. And in fact, that defence deserved to win the match. And if they've come up with a try, then that is a magnificent slide rule chip from Graham Holroyd. But what a chase from Phil Hassan.
Yes, it depends what the referee in the touch judge spotted. He certainly saw a bit of a fracas going on there, but it must have been after Terry Newton passed the football, because he was certainly involved, and it was in the area of where he got the ball out of the tackle to spark the attack off. And I don't think there's going to be a problem. I think Leeds are going to be awarded the try.
Referee's running back as though he's going to award the try. And there it is.
Indeed, that's a try to Phil Hassan, so he must like Salford.
And that should be the winner. But what great speed from Phil Hassan there. There was absolutely nothing on when Graham Holroyd chipped. And Phil Hassan came from nowhere to outpace Broadbent and score.
Yes, tremendous. And Broadbent, no slouch. And on this rating, I don't think Graham Holroyd can be far short of the man of the match award.
Yeah, and again though, superb play from Leeds breaking out. Newton out the tackle. Harris again prompting and creating across the line. Gibson did well this time to stay in the field of play. The ball out to Holroyd. There seemed to be a lot of space around. That's because some of the players were in midfield trying to sort out a difference. And Leeds took full advantage. A slide rule kick from Holroyd, just bouncing over the line. But Hassan from nowhere. Magnificent timing of the run. Holroyd makes... Harris makes the kick. At 34-18, Leeds should be home and dry now. And it's been a good week for the Rhinos.
Yes. 5 from 7 there. Kicks from...
I think the referee's going to have a word with at least 2 players, 1 from each side.
Well, it certainly won't be Graham Holroyd, because...
No, I think he was pretending to be captain there. I think the referee said, can I have your captain? And Holly decided that even if Gary Mercer was on the pitch, it was going to be him.
He's pulled the 2 captains out, Blakely and Mercer. Touch judge is on. I think he'll just be saying, just tell your players to cool it down. Yeah. There's no need for that. But it must have been something that happened after Terry Newton passed the football. Did you see what happened in the fracas there, Bob?
No, I'm sorry. Too exciting watching the game. You know, certainly. But just going back, I feel that today's man of the match name might begin with a H somehow.
Yes, I think Holroyd's had a tremendous game.
Or Harris or H.
Yes, yes, Harris.
Hedging your bets.
Certainly hedging my bets there, but I think a H.
Yes, Terry Newton's coming off, and that's a wise move there, because...
I think it's a blood bin.
Yes, blood bin. Newton obviously involved in that punch-up. Wayne Collins comes back on, so Leeds won't lose anything in the defensive department, and that's what they want now.
Well, if Leeds can't possibly contrive to throw this game away, I wouldn't have thought. 34-18 with, by my reckoning, about 4 minutes to go, and so that defence on the line deserved to win a match, and beautiful execution of a play down the other end. Looks like it has won them the game. Yes, and some good defence from Damien Gibson, who's kept Nathan McAvoy well bottled up this afternoon. Actually, talking of man of the match possibilities, Damien Gibson could be in the frame. Yes. If it's not an H,
it's a silent H.
Yes, it's pretty close to an H.
His middle name could begin with an H.
So we'll see Watson just go from dummy half as Salford making play up the middle of the field. It's 34 points to 18, Leeds in the lead, and there's about 3 minutes left as the kick comes in from Blakely. Holroyd can just run back to that one. It should sit up for him. Picks it up now on his own line. Comes back and straight into Cousins over on the far side, brought down. Golden gives it to Rivette, who's looking for a run. I think certainly in terms of creative play, there's little to choose between Holroyd and Harris. They've both had tremendous games. Gibson's provided that bit of spark, but there's been some great work up front as well, some fabulous defence. And really, if Leeds win this game on the back of a tight midweek match, they'll all deserve a share in the award. Collins in at dummy half, then falls over as he picks the ball up because there was a Salford player in the way. That's a good ball from Harris. That finds Morley. Morley, he was not quite fit, but you wouldn't have thought so when the way he's played on the field. Well, certainly a Salford player has felt the might of Adrian Morley, and Harris is away again from acting half-back. Oh, and Sheridan's put the ball down in a tremendous position. That would have been a try to either Sheridan or Holroyd. And Harris, great break there. That deserved a try. It was a good ball. 8,508. So as you said, Phil, looks about 8 now.
When Leeds Rhinos come face to face against the LA Rams on Friday, July the 18th, we look forward to seeing you here at Headingley on the Friday kickoff 7 noon. And today,
Just been about to get the man of the match now. The members of the press have picked it.
Number 5,
Damien Gibson wins the man of the match. And that'll be a popular choice, and Gibson's worked hard today, both in attack and defence.
I don't think there'll be any qualms about that one. He's worked extremely hard on defence. He's kept some bigger men than him quiet, but it's on attack really that he's won that man of the match award with 2 superb tries, the second one being perhaps the highlight of the game.
And we're watching...
Craig Randall's match is complete. He's coming off, and he won't have enjoyed his visit to Headingley.
No, he's had a bit of a nightmare game. The Salford number 13 in the second row. A generous round of applause from one Philip Lamb, who sat in front of me. And, Darren Rogers now looking to come in field. He's another one who would have enjoyed his return to West Yorkshire. It's going to be losing pay for Salford today.
Again, though, they've fought very creditably. They are they look a cut above the sides that normally come up from the second division. I think Gary Mercer's going to be penalised for a robust tackle on Gary Broadbent, but let's hope nothing else comes of this incident. The touch judge was on quickly. Don't think there was anything too malicious, and yes. The referee is going to give a penalty. Referee's done quite a good job today. I've got the penalties at 5-all, which probably means I've missed 6 of them, but that would indicate that he's been very even-handed.
Yes, I think he's had a good game, John Colley. Missed a forward pass early doors, which led to the Salford try, but apart from that, he's been pretty accurate with his decisions.
Well, apart from that, it wasn't him that told the Leeds defence to stop running, and you've got to credit the official for keeping this game's been fast and flowing and exciting, and in some ways that's down to the official. Yes,
he knew about the fight when Leeds scored the try, but he let play go on because obviously he wanted to watch the try, because it wouldn't have deserved not a try because of the fight, and that's good refereeing. Blakely drops off there for Andy Burgess. Burgess back for Svermalo, who's tired visibly. I've seen Svermalo today.
Yeah, I don't think he expected to go back on. He was resting on the bench until the injury to Randall.
Lee. Now Mercer's put himself in position to get the ball. Picked up by Gibson as Mercer threw that ball back.
Leeds need do nothing silly now. They just wind down the clock. This is possibly the last set of 6, and Leroy Rivett gets a run. His first touch, he'll be keen to impress. And all the speed merchants today have done well for Leeds. Gibson, Golden, Sterling,
Hassan. Holroyd's ball for Harris. Harris straight onto Hassan. That's great football from Holroyd and Harris. Golden himself, dodging, weaving, looks to go, gets it back there to Hassan Harris. Looks to go himself, knocked down but not stopped. Still going, manages to get the ball knocked back down. Knock on there from Cervello as he picked up. Referee didn't spot that, it was on his short side.
No, I think as well it was a knock on in getting the ball away from Harris, but a flourishing finish from Leeds, and they've won this game, and they've won it well in entertaining style, and I don't think any of the 8,500 who are here can bemoan the value for money they've had today.
Watson in at dummy half for Salford with Cliff Eccles. He's worked hard all afternoon, as you'd expect.
And the crowd even cheering every tackle now, which means that they've enjoyed themselves.
Mark Lee, McAvoy puts a little chip through.
It's done well.
Pace to go, and a kick on again there, but Holroyd should pick that up easily. And McAvoy gave up the chase there. He didn't bother to chase Graham Holroyd, who's coming back down the middle of the field. Good run out of defence from Holroyd. He's had a great game at full-back.
Revelled in the extra space, and he's enjoyed it, and hopefully his mind will be set on playing rugby now, and maybe looking around this stadium and seeing the crowd and seeing the scoreboard, maybe he'll feel a little bit happy with himself. He's got that role at full-back, I would think, for at least another 3 or 4 weeks, so let's hope he can buckle down and enjoy himself.
Rivett tackle low, good defence from Salford. They spotted the passing was a bit laboured along the line, and really it shouldn't have gone to Rivett. Harris with an exaggerated dummy bursts his way clear. But 2 men, including the former Leeds man Famalo, bringing him down. Harris finds Jamie Field knocked down in the middle of the field. Scruff of the neck job by Famalo.
And the crowd are absolutely loving this now. We've got Olay for every pass.
Harris. It's a cross-field kick in. That's for Cousins to chase. Cousins can allow that to bounce. It was well executed, but Marvin Golden was a little bit in field. And Leeds were practicing those kicks yesterday morning. And
I think again it's a measure of the entertainment being served up in this game that the crowd are so behind the side at the end. It's not even so much to do with the fact that Leeds are going to win this game, it's the fact of the standard and the style with which they've played.
Yes, and just going out one final time to Bob Pickles on the bench. It's been a tremendous performance from Leeds, and there's the hooter goes, Bob.
Yeah, both on attack and defence. The 24 times we tackled on our line shows the defence is working well, and the attack, because we've done some super tries today.
Yes, great performance then from Leeds. They win out victors here 34 points to 18. 18-6 it was at half-time after tries to Gibson, 2, and kick to Harris with the golden try opening, scoring in the Blakely's try and conversion for Salford. And Leeds scored straight after break when Holroyd scored, 22 points to 6. Martin scored for Salford and Blakely converted, and it was 22-12, and then Leeds ran away again and Golden scored, Harris converting, but Salford hit back straight from the kick-off with Watson. It was that sort of a game. Blakely converted 28-18. Leeds had a last lap when, despite a melee in the middle of the field, Graham Holroyd found space, kicked the ball through, and Harris converted. Leeds 34, Salford 18.